Hey everybody, welcome back. This video is going to review pediatric fine motor development. And what's the best place to learn granular details? In the finest of sand, the warmest of sun, we're going to the beach. You know the rules. We have to get there early, stake out the best spot, get our... Oh, a seagull's already out here. Okay. Well, let's... What? More? It's fine. We're still going to have a good time. We won't let these creatures ruin our day. We're gonna... Let's just get set up. Here are the learning objectives if you want to take a peek. And here's your reminder on the format. The first year will go horizontally left to right, and the next 5 years will go upward on a diagonal. In this video, we will have a 6-year-old milestone, so keep an eye on that bottom right corner. Now pack up your towel and apply some SPF 50. We're headed out. We've made it. The perfect spot. Plenty of sunshine, a cooler full of drinks. Below our camp are what look like a couple of crab eggs. Some fitting scenery, and 2 eggs remind us that we're starting out at 2 months old. But look who decided to show up. The sewer rat of the sands. Perched quite happily on our stuff. And wait a second. Are you kidding me? That seagull is cracking open our cooler. Unbelievable. Though this half-opened cooler is a good reminder that at 2 months old, babies will have their hands open, that is, unfisted, around 50% of the time. Finally, some welcome company. Our baby beachgoer Audrey has come out to soak up some rays. We even have a shy crab sharing our space. Up above Audrey, though, another one of those winged demon weasels. And why is that seagull feigning a capacity for sadness? Looks like he dropped a string of stolen sausages. Those 4 links are a reminder that we're at 4 months. Also, those sausages, reminiscent of fingers, are falling right from the midline of that seagull. At 4 months old, infants will play with their fingers at midline. These birds are trying their hardest to ruin the beach. They get in your face, they steal your food, they tell you you're... Whoa! Baby Audrey has snagged a seagull straight out of the air. Besides being highly justified, it's a great reminder that at 4 months old, infants will grasp objects, or vermin, placed in their hands. Audrey is now sitting upright at 6 months old, and really getting into the vacation spirit, happily juggling both some beach balls and her prisoner. As the beach balls get juggled around and around, let them remind you that at 6 months old, kids will transfer objects hand to hand. And that justice-filled collision of ball and seagull? A reminder that 6-month-olds will bang objects together. For some kids, it's pots and pans. For Audrey, it's sunshine scoundrels. Below our camp, our cute little crab is also getting into the sandy fun. It's using one of those plastic rake toys to draw 4 lines in the sand. 6-month-old infants will use a 4-finger raking technique to pull objects closer to themselves. As we move up the beach into 9-month-old territory, Audrey has... Oh no! She's let that feathered pestilence go free. Well, it makes sense. At 9 months, infants will intentionally release objects. I guess that seagull got its fair share of punishment. Hopefully that means we're done with annoying critters. We can just lay back and... Oh, our crab. The braces, the insubordinate gaze. Is that a vape? And a platter full of pizza bagels? This pincer-wielding crab is in full-fledged immaturity. A useful cue that 9-month-old infants will have an immature pincer grasp. Notice how our poorly coordinated crab is wearing 3 boots on one side and 1 boot on the other. A reminder that an immature pincer grasp involves the thumb and 3 fingers. Not the most precise, but it gets the job done. It's now high noon, and we've reached the edge of our beach. Audrey sure is looking pleased in a power pose, her legs in a subtle 12 shape, for 12 months, if you squint. And why so pleased? She has a trophy from her vigilante days. She's dropping that feather into a bucket, similarly to how 12-month-olds have the fine motor skill to drop objects into containers, such as pellets into cups. Such a victorious moment. Do I dare glance down at our arthropod company? Oh, that suit, that stash, that most polished of monocles. This is a mature crab. A most dashing reminder that at 12 months old, infants will have a mature pincer grasp. Note the refined boots, 1 on each side, just as a mature pincer grasp involves a thumb and a single finger. Perfect for placing a monocle. Our day at the beach has been full of glorious seagull justice. Let's lay out a towel and take it back for review. We started out with an all-out assault on our stuff. a cooler now open like 2-month-old's hands are half the time. At 4 months, the thieving gull dropped finger-like sausages from its midline, and the noble Audrey grasped with a vengeance. Sitting upright at 6 months, Audrey juggled her beach balls in a hand-to-hand transfer, banging a ball into a seagull for good measure. Below, a crabby companion raked lines in the sand. At 9 months old, and justice served, Audrey intentionally released that flying fiend. The gull must have learned its lesson, because it didn't even try for the pizza bagels held by the immature pincer grasp of the immature crab. Finally, Audrey dropped a well-deserved trophy into a container, borne witness by the handsomest and most mature of pincer crabs. You know, we've been out here for a while, and the tide's coming in. Maybe we ought to reapply some sunscreen and cool off in the water. Now this is more like it. Cool, crisp, open waters, not a seagull in sight, though it feels like something is missing, something to add a dash of realism. Perfect, some litter. Now it's an ocean, a bottle and a half to remind us we're at 1.5 years. What about this anchor on the sea floor, with a stacked sailor's knot? Let those cube knots remind you that, at 18 months, infants should be able to stack a tower of 3 to 4 blocks. Ah, here comes Audrey, swimming low to avoid a squiggly jellyfish. Let these scribble-like tentacles remind you that, at 1.5 years, kids will spontaneously scribble on paper. Whoa, somebody's casting a fishing line. Don't they know this is a swimming-only zone? There are 2 chum buckets aboard that boat for 2 years old, but who could be so inconsiderate? Of course, it's sea scum in a fisherman's hat. Though that fishing line can help us remember that at 2 years old, kids will copy a straight line. Audrey managed to dodge that line, but lost her flippers in the process. A bit of a problem, because overhead there seems to be trouble. A bombardier bird is launching a retaliatory strike, its artillery coming in hot. That pufferfish inflates into a narrowly avoided attack, its bloated body a reminder that, at 3 years old, kids can copy a circle. Thinking quick, Audrey whips out a pair of scissors to defend herself. Ocean litter has some use after all. At 3, kids can awkwardly cut with children's scissors. A good thing she stood her ground, because below her is yet another threat, as a menacing skull and arm reaches upward. Let that skull and arm remind us that 3-year-olds will draw pictures of people featuring a head and one body part. That seagull is clearly disappointed that he couldn't land a direct hit. Maybe he should have been a little bit more careful with his targeting. Let his poorly aimed crosshairs remind you that, between 3 and 4 years old, kids will copy a cross. Having brilliantly avoided these atrocious attacks, Audrey comes across a chest. Maybe full of treasure? Or better yet, seagull traps. Either way, the chest reminds us that 4-year-olds are able to copy squares. But enough of that, what's inside? It's empty. Who could have stolen the treasure? I should have known. Those no-good, sand-licking, food-stealing... Hold on. Somebody has commandeered that seagull ship. Could it be? It is. Audrey, embracing her inner pirate, has taken control of that vessel. And what does her slick pirate get-up tell us about development? Nothing. The now a triangle sail, on the other hand, is a perfect reminder that 5-year-olds will copy triangles. Though, I wonder whatever happened to that treasure. It's still down below. I guess that little fish tried to take it and fell prey to a booby trap. Why is it so hard to find trustworthy ocean life? 6 diamonds to remind us that this is the 6-year-old corner. This little cautionary tale also reminds us of the 2 shapes 6-year-olds will copy, an intersecting flag pattern and a diamond. Well, Audrey didn't come away with the gems, but she did find the most important treasure of all, a really sweet peg leg. Before we set sail, let's gaze over the port bow for a quick review. And as a note, focus on the hot pink items to remember the shapes that kids draw. While the exact ages may vary depending on which source you look at, the sequence of shapes will stay the same. Audrey swam out to sea at 1.5 years old, between block knot towers of 4 and scribbled jellyfish tentacles. The seagulls had zero respect for maritime law, and cast a copied straight line down below. At 3 years old, Audrey used scissors to fend off circular assaults, before coming up upon a 4-year-old, 4-sided square treasure chest. Though the chest was empty, a pirate at 5 Audrey took worthy control of her ship, setting triangular sails for happier seas. And down below, a mischievous fish learned his lesson, stuck in a flag-shaped cage and just out of reach of 6 6-year-old diamonds. Our day at the beach wasn't quite what we expected, but ending a vacation with the total upheaval of a seagull maritime empire? That's fine by me. That's it for fine motor development. Thanks for watching. Like before, there's a link to a PDF version of the final images in this video description. And don't worry, no seagulls were harmed in the making of this video, unfortunately. Lastly, med school is hard, and it can sometimes seem like you're lost at sea, all on your own, no life raft in sight, barely managing to tread water. So, if you need help or support, make sure to reach out and talk to somebody. Every good pirate knows when to rely on their crew. This has been Garrett, and I'll see you next time.